welcome Twitch chat, YouTube. It is Saturday, 6/4 Vintage Challenge. I'm still currently sick with the COVIDs, but I am on the mends, so I wanted to do Magic the Gathering today. I wanted to play a deck where I took 1 or 2 actions per turn, so I've decided to give Grymn another chance. There is only one mono-white player who does any winning in Vintage, and that's Grymn. So I'm going to take Grym's 75 and play it to the best of my abilities and see what happens. I historically have said that I do not like this version of mono-white. I really think that the cards Cavern of Souls and Archon of Emeria are like the strongest cards in the archetype, but I am always impressed by the numbers that Grymn puts up. Grymn put up like an absolutely insane set of months when he was playing before I think there was a job change or something, like just ridiculous numbers. So I'm going to try to use my Vintage knowledge and this deck list and see what happens today in the Vintage Challenge. Please bear with me, as I will probably be doing some amount of coughing and other sick actions, but c'est la vie. Okay, round 1, Vintage Challenge. I have a cat. Great success. I don't know what my opponent plays. Let's go take a quick look. It feels very important for this kind of deck to know what your opponent is likely to play. My opponent is likely to play Oath of Druids. Really? I sure hope they don't play Oath of Druids. That would be funny. This hand, no matter what I play against, is probably not playable unless I play against, I don't know, maybe aggro shops. This hand might be playable, but I'm going to put this hand back. Yeah, I'm also going to put this hand back. I don't have a way to accelerate. This is already off to not the hottest start, but I guess this answers Oath of Druids, and this answers blue cards, and I mean, this seems more reasonable than some of the other hands I've kept. Though I have to probably put back either a 2-drop or a Mental Misstep. I probably can't put back a Mental Misstep. Probably just have to put back Spirit Planes. Maybe I'm supposed to put back Thalia Planes. Maybe I'm supposed to put back Mental Misstep because if I play a Thalia, it's pretty bad. Maybe it's just Mental Misstep Planes and just hope they don't ranch me. Yeah, this looks like a rough one. Let's see what happens. Okay. Have to exile. Another thing that I'm pretty sus about in this list is how much removal and how much anti-removal it plays. Like, it's playing Giver of Runes as a 3 of, and it's playing Path to Exile as a 4 of. And I'm just not sure that those are the numbers you want in the current metagame. Like, it always feels like... yes, you are correct, Shan. You do want to turn 1 play. However, I was already mulliganing to 5 on the play. I need to keep a remotely. Yeah. So my opponent is on Oath, but this is actually going to work out really well for us because they had to do all their mana. So this Thalia actually ended up being a really strong keep because it's going to protect my Leonin Relic Warder, which is going to take the Oath of Druids, and then they didn't even play a land. So I'm actually going to Wasteland their Volcanic, and then I think I'm just extremely winning, which is something I would not have said literally a minute ago. Deafening Silence, Spirit. Well, I'm going to play Spirit. I guess I should have played Spirit pre-combat because they hadn't stripped me yet. But I don't think they're going to strip me. I need this clock. This clock is now 2 turns. So actually really nice spot. They have to top deck land, I think. Oh, now they just have to top deck land. Oh, no, it's going to be too slow now. And we have Path. So I think we're actually doing okay now. Does it make any sense to do any of the plays? I guess I should just play a giver. I don't think holding up path or playing deafening silence does well. Deafening silence with a Thalia and play deafening silence probably doesn't do that much anyways. It's not like they can draw cards. I'm pretty sure the card that won this game was the was the top deck Wasteland. The top deck Wasteland seems very good here. Even if my opponent kills this Relic Warder because they mental misstep, they actually have lethal attackers still. So, wow, okay, that feels like a steal. I don't think Oath should be a very good matchup for us. Do we even have cages? No, we do have Containment Priests. I guess we have 4 Relic Warders. I think of the of the of the choices that Grymn makes in this deck list, I really do like 4 Relic Warders in this metagame. Obviously, Relic Warder has some issues in terms of maybe disallowing the usage or making the usage of caverns more difficult. But I really like Relic Warder right now, especially in like the Urza Saga metagame. So I definitely want March. I don't know if I want more than this. Let's see. Don't know if this is gonna do anything here. I don't really think Kataki does very much here. Like you can run Oath out of creatures, so I'm not even sure. I think it might even be fine to just have a bunch of Path to Exiles. Like maybe we play, I don't know, Mindbreak, Trap, Deafening Silence, and then play like one less Path to Exile or something. Lumi's a cleric, but Thalia's a human soldier. This is a spirit. This is, I guess you could even go cleric, huh? You could go cleric, cleric, cleric. I don't know. If every time I look at this list, it feels like you can play caverns in it. Maybe you can't play 4. Maybe you can play 2 caverns or something. I don't know. I just always look at this list and think about I want a cavern. Cavern doesn't let you play Path to Exile, which is probably the biggest thing. This is a cleric too. I don't know. I feel like we should play cavern in this list. Anyways, I think I'm right in assuming that Kataki doesn't look quite good here. That would be spirit. I don't know. This seems like pretty reasonable to me. We actually get a couple of really strong tools in March Priest, so I don't know. Is this going to be good enough? Like, Path is probably one of the worst cards in our deck right now, but I don't think we have enough cards to take out. And then Spirit is not amazing, and Trap is pretty meh as well, but I felt like it was a reasonable card to have. Maybe this is not even close to being good. Maybe I should have not brought in then. But I just thought like Kataki was horrible, but maybe at least Kataki attacks. I think I'm gonna put this hand back because it's just too weak. Yeah, this hand looks a lot better. I mean, the Giver of Runes is probably really bad as well, right? This just feels like there's a lot of cards that are bad in the matchup. Shouldn't really need a Giver of Runes. Should just be able to play 2 drops every turn and hope it's good enough. Sure, you get to cheat and look at my hand. No, because Oath is not a searching effect. Oath is a flip until you hit, which is different. It would stop fetches though. The good news is an Oath deck doesn't have a lot of removal, because it wants creatures to be in play. So as long as they don't get forced, like a lot of things are gonna stick. I'm pretty sure I'm just leading Thalia. It's the strongest card here. I don't think the Mox on color is gonna matter. Well, I guess it matters because of the relic order. Unless I just draw nothing, no lands. It's possible. Interesting. So I have questions on how I'm supposed to sequence this. So I have Arbiter, Spirit, Strip Mine. I think I want to play an Arbiter and a Strip Mine. I was wondering if maybe I'm supposed to Strip Mine. No, I'm probably just supposed to play an Arbiter, let them fetch a green source, and then Strip Mine the green source. Because they don't know about this, but they know about this. I think an Arbiter should be like a little bit stronger than a Spirit right now, but not much. This Strip Mine draw is, again, insane. I mean, I do think probably the best card in this deck is Strip Mine. Maybe it's Black Lotus, but... Wow, Nature's Claim on my Pearl. That definitely punishes me a little bit for playing my land, because I don't have any way to follow up unless I draw more lands, but... I mean... Mox. Tolarian. Interesting. Interesting Oath build. Land, please? No land. Unfortunately, this is not a fetch land. Well, that's definitely the downside of using Strip Mine, but... I mean, if my opponent jams an Oath here and I don't hit a land drop, I lose, right? Not much I can do. I think I'm always choosing to Strip Mine, so... We're playing a mana denial game. Interesting Oath build. So it's a Rug Oath build with artifacts. Land, please? No? Okay. I mean, still a 3-turn clock, though. They're running out of time. They have to play an Oath on this next turn. Oh, I guess they don't. Yeah, 2 turns. So they have to play an Oath on this next turn. Still gives me 2 draw steps for lands. This game would have probably been... I don't know. I didn't have to Strip Mine, but I guess Strip Mine doesn't even let me play Relic Order anyways, so... I mean, they have to have Oath now. If they don't have Oath now, another path to exile. This is... yeah. Is this a braid? Sudden shock. I am definitely suddenly shocked that that is a card in your deck. Okay. Well, I guess now we're just trying to beat down with 1/2/2, and I'm gonna play a Deafening Silence, which actually looks pretty good on this board. So, oh, never mind. I'm not gonna play a Deafening Silence. All right. Well, my opponent can like Tinker Sphinx, but I have Path, so I feel pretty favored. Oh, there's Saga in your Oath deck as well. Interesting. Wow, because they killed my because they killed my Thalia, this jet actually is turned on. So I'm actually gonna have lethal attack next turn, no matter what. Okay, this game looks like it's pretty good now. Is it better? Yeah, it's probably better to play a Spirit than it is to play a Arbiter. Oh, this is a hard cast force. Yeah, this is a hard cast force. Okay, so this is still fine because my opponent is out of cards and I have a lethal attacker and at least 1 removal spell. Hmm. I don't really like the way I sideboarded. I probably would sideboard slightly differently. I didn't really realize they would be an Academy Saga deck. I think the Katakis probably come back in. I think the paths actually get better because they have multiple, value. Uh, yeah, I sideboarded for a more traditional rug controlling Oath deck, not really a rug artifact Saga Oath thing. So my opponent, I'd love to draw another planes so that I can have double removal spell. Okay, well, time to find out if they can spin into a counterspell. This is a lot better than Swords to Plowshares here, I must note. They can spin into literally Force of Will. Oh, wow, they actually are going to spin into literally Force of Will? Alright, I guess we're going to lose this game. I don't really think I can not make this play. And now I lose my Arbiter on their Saga. Yeah, I think we just are going to have a really hard time winning this game. So my opponent's going to have two creatures. We can match one of them with a Relic Warder if we ever draw planes. Maybe turn 9 we'll draw planes. And then I do have a removal spell and two creatures, so it's not like unwinnable, but it definitely looks bad. Yeah, I haven't drawn a single... Well, I drew a Strip Mine, but I haven't drawn a planes, I mean, I felt like Path was a pretty good answer. Obviously, spinning into Force of Will is not great. All in all, it is still a very winnable game. Like, if I draw planes this turn, I Relic Order one of their constructs, and then next turn they leave back the other construct and I path it, it's still very good. I mean, I guess if they hit something off of their top again, then it's not good, but... What did you hit? Sun Titan? Okay. Alright, well now I believe I'm dead. Okay, so it is an Oath Breach, maybe? Okay, so I drew no planes in 7 draws, and I lost. I mean, that does make my Mind Break Trap somewhat better, but I might be more interested in a Dryad Militant. I might be more interested in Stony Silences. I might be more interested in Katakis. I might be more interested in Path. I don't know what I want, though. Can I cut this card? Am I allowed to do that? Maybe I don't want this card. Do I want Stony Silences? Don't really think I do. I don't want Giver of Runes. Don't want a Jonjo. Give me the Katakis and the other path and the Dryad Militant back. That seems fine. So maybe they're not even playing like a lot of oaths. Maybe they're only playing 2 oath and they're playing like a Brian Kelly style deck. Oh, maybe this is just a Brian Kelly deck. That's something I hadn't considered. Let me just go look at the Brian Kelly list. This is probably a Brian Kelly list now that I think about it. Brian PK. What the hell is his name again? Brian PK something? Okay, yeah, it's a Brian Kelly list. So it's 3 Saga, 3 Oath, a pile of Planeswalkers, Sun Titan, 1 Breach. What the fuck? Yeah, there's a sudden shock. Okay, so at least I know what's happening now. I think Kataki. I don't want to ever play for Kataki, so definitely not. This Milton doesn't look good though. This doesn't look like a. I'm just gonna play a Stony Silence instead. There isn't even a brain freeze. It's just a value breach. So here's the list we're playing against: Library of Alexandria, Strip Mine, 3 Saga, 3 Oath, 1 Library, 1 Breach, Sorcerer's Spyglass, Chalice, Ancient Grudge, Daze, Daze, Daze. Bro, this is not a Daze deck. You have like 2 islands in your deck. Ay, 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 ay. All right, so at least we know what we're playing against now. All right, well, I can't keep this hand. I don't have an accelerant. I don't like this hand very much. Where are my Moxen? This one's probably closer just because it has so many strip mines. And my opponent's mana base is a wee bit sus. But on the play, I just can't imagine that we can keep this kind of hand. I just have hit 0. All right, well, I'm going to keep 5 because I think I can't really afford to keep less than this. I think I'm going to keep Containment Priest, Stony Silence, Spirit, Ghost Plains. Maybe I get rid of Spirit and I keep Mental Misstep. They kind of cover similar cards. Hashtag Ancestral Recall. Actually, I don't even know if Misstep hits enough. It just hits Mental... It just hits... Well, I guess it hits... That was a 1 of Nature's Claim, a 1 of Sudden Shock. There's a Fire Spout I need to play around. God damn it, there's a Fire Spout. Does my deck play Crypt Petal or does their deck play Crypt Petal? I have no idea the answer to either of those questions. My deck does not play Mana Crypt. It does play Petal. I don't know. Like I said, I just am playing the list that Grymn played. So jealous of my opponent's Moxen. Losing that last game was really sad. Just needed to draw a plains at any point in our 7 turns. That's good. I like them investing into more artifacts if my Stony Silence can resolve. The good news is I don't think this opponent's deck plays Force of Vigor, which it doesn't. So that's good. Can't like lose my Spirit and my Stony Silence. Now that I've cast Stony Silence, I'm assuredly going to draw Moxen though. Well, they're debating here. Okay, I've turned off a lot of their cards. This is good. Kataki. I actually think I am going to play Kataki. Just because getting it off the table makes some sense to me. Whereas if they had a cantrip, they would have played it already. I guess they're not even playing cantrips. They're playing Ancestral, Brainstorm, Dak Faden, Jace the Mind Sculptor. So, like, this might stop a Dak fade in. All right, so I got this off the table. This at least turns off like a Tolarian Academy. Okay, so now they can play an Oko. I can't beat an Oko here, so... Oh, they're going to play an Oath. Okay. That's... And Strip Mine, so... I'm not even going to play Containment Priest. Can I draw planes, please? That is just disgusting. I don't know. I feel like I'm just horrifically unlucky, right? Like, I have the exact answer to this kind of line, but I don't have a planes again. This is so disgusting. Whatever. Guess we lose. Classic 3 Oath deck. No, yeah, sure. There's 3 Oaths, and there are no Forbidden Orchards. But it's okay, as long as your opponent plays a Kataki, you're good. All right, we're very dead here because we have to draw planes and path, and then still find a way to get Containment Priest in play. I just can't draw planes. I don't know what to do. Actually, don't even know if there's a better creature I can hit, so this is probably not the best play. They hit a force off of this Narset. Alright, well, I'm very dead. The one of Strip Mine to keep me off of white mana is just such a Brian Kelly maneuver that... Oh my god, bounce back the Narset. Yeah, sure. Like, there's very few times where I'm going to lose my ability to play a Containment Priest, and that is definitely, I guess, the one time that could happen, so... I don't really think we're dead because we're playing White Weenie. I think we're dead because we've now gone 12 consecutive draw steps without hitting a plains. Like, we have played 2 consecutive games, and we have now drawn 12 cards, and 0 of them have been plains. 13, 14, 15, 16. On our 17th draw, we would have finally hit 8 plains. Yeah, okay. All right, up against Powerful Wizard Canister. Still have a cat. I still don't have a Moxen. I do have a Path to Exile for Murktide Regent, though. His hand looks really bad. I'd probably mulligan it. I would probably say JJK is short. Just by showing standards. If we can just convince Canister to only play our match, it'll probably be over in like 5 minutes, right? I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I'm looking for... Oh my god, I found a Moxen, but there are no creatures in my hand. How many mulligans have I done? Have I mulliganed to 5 every game? I feel like I've mulliganed to 5 every game. I'm gonna get rid of a Kataki, and I'm gonna get rid of a Giver. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Giver because I think I'm playing against blue-red, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked at Canister's stream, so I have no idea what Canister's playing, but I guess they could be playing Dredge or something, and I'm like very dead. Like, I don't think the choices that I've made for mulliganing have been incorrect. Like, my mulliganing logic in this deck is typically you want to have a turn 1 play, and you want your turn 1 play to be a 2-drop, if possible. And then you just want to evaluate like which 2-drop is best against the matchup. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, hopefully they're on, I don't know, Hollow Vine instead of... Okay, that's Gaak. So this is actually better against Gaak than it is against Dredge. So there's some small plus side there. I didn't have a Wasteland in the 7, so that's good. So if my opponent puts Vengevines in play, I don't see how I can win. They did just find a Vengevine with their Once Upon a Time. Okay, so... I don't think it's going to matter how good our Spirit is against Bazaar of Baghdad when our opponent puts 6 free power in play and our deck has to play a bunch of 2-drops for 2 mana. So... being on the draw, I have no Wasteland. I don't have really good... I mean, I already revealed Lurrus. Like, am I really hiding anything? Like, theoretically, I can jam Thalia here, and I'm just taking Vengevine, and then my Vengevine can maybe trade. So... I think I would just play. I also need to find out if my opponent is on Squee or Gaak, because you can technically be Squee with Once Upon a Time. Right? I mean, I think it's probably Gaak, but it could be Squee still. I don't think you're allowed to concede here. If it's Gaak, it's technically better to play Spirit. If it's Vengevine, it's better to play... if it's Squee, it's better to play Thalia. However, if I play Mock Spirit and my opponent has a Force of Vigor in their hand, I do just lose. Also, my Spirit can't block the Root Wallas, which is concerning. It's pretty bad either way, but I think I have to lead Thalia. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that Canister is double queuing, because I think we could just complete our match extremely fast. All right. It would be a lot better if I had kept a Giver of Runes instead of an Arbiter, because my opponent's not going to be searching, where they are going to be attacking, and me giving something protection might be like pretty game winning. So maybe that was a mistake that I made. That's like a place you could point to where I made a decision that could have been really bad. My opponent did discard a Force of Vigor here, so I kind of am pretty happy that I didn't play my Spirit. But if my opponent plays a Hogak, I need to draw... Oh, they just brought back another Vengevine? Okay, yeah, I mean, my opponent's deck is just much better than mine. Don't see any real way of getting out of this, but let's just draw. Cool. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Man, Rap Trap's not even that good against our opponent's deck. It's kind of annoyingly awkward. Probably want this March and the Swords and these Containment Priests. And then we need to pick cards to board out. We would pick out definitely board out Deafening Silence. Kitaki's like only good if they have no lands and they have hollow ones, which doesn't really feel like is a great way. Triad Militant doesn't do anything besides, I mean, maybe slows down a Gaak. Arbiter, they don't search at all. Relic Warder's still good. Thalia's not bad because it has First Strike. Maybe we just keep a Kitaki and we ward all these things out. Seems fine. The good thing we have going for us is we do have a bunch of Wastelands and a bunch of spot removal, but... Turn 1 Containment Priest, Rav Trap, Giver. Is that good enough? I don't know. Maybe. Don't know if that's good enough. Hit a hollow one. Well, at least we have something here. Stopped Avengevine and Bloodghast. Just need to beat a hollow one. Really? I guess this technically will kill a hollow one. It's kind of nice. I think I'm going to start by just getting a giver in play, and that will give us some leeway. I do need to probably trap them so that they don't play a Gaak, but these don't cast Gaak, so that's good. They can't fetch a Dryad Arbor either, so that's good. I can't block this because... I wonder if I should block this, make them put mana into it, and then just march it. Probably should just save March for a Deathrite Shaman, though. I'm going to save it for a Deathrite Shaman. I need to make sure I keep them off of 2 green creatures so I don't get gacked. There's a Gaak and a Vengevine. Should I just hit them with a trap right now? I think so. Feels like a good opportunity to do so. And then they can play a Deathrite Shaman here. And I can just march it. Alright, so currently I'm going to take... I'm actually just stabilized. Ooh, do I want to play that first? Yeah, I do. Okay. So I can just get in with this. And then I'll be able to hold up blocking and shooting. Quite nice. Is our mono white control deck going to get there? It's nice when you draw like the good creature in the matchup and not like, I don't know. I mean, even maybe Kataki would be pretty reasonable here, but. Alright, my opponent is not even going to be attacking at this point. Okay, hard cast Avengevine? No. It's going to be interesting. They don't have any basics in their deck, but my attacks are still not fantastic. Maybe I just path the hollow one and get in with the spirit. And they can't... I guess they can't really block, right? Because I just go pro red. Sure. Oh, I guess they could vigor this. I don't really want that to happen. Yeah, I'm gonna get in. They're gonna vigor this in response. I think that's okay for me. I guess I'm now turned off of this. Maybe that's not okay, because now they can keep going. That was exactly what I thought that was happening, and maybe I'm supposed to play around it. It feels like I'm not progressing the game, though, if I play around it. And that seems bad? Don't know if it's bad, but it seems bad. My opponent has to hard cast 2 green creatures, so not having a Black Lotus is not huge, but being able to activate Bazaar is pretty reasonable. They tried to get a Dryad Arbor, but Containment Priest stopped it. So it looks like they were gonna try to put a Hogak in play, but even the most powerful wizards can fail sometimes. Maybe that's true. Maybe I'm just supposed to never attack and hold up my pro vigor. It's possible. It's definitely possible. The other thing is, if my opponent's going to invest all those resources, I'm eventually going to go Luris and replay all my things too, though, right? Oh, no, I'm not going to replay all my things because of Containment Priest. Going to replay only this thing. Okay, so my opponent would have thought they had the ability to Hogak here, but they could not find Dryad Arbor because of Containment Priests. Priest doesn't counter Luris. Oh, you're right. Priest doesn't counter Luris. True. So my opponent just needs to top deck a 1-drop here, and they play a Hogak. I'm gonna get this and get a Luris. The Spirit wasn't exactly protecting me from them getting Hogak. Maybe it was because it was putting cards in the yard. Yeah, it's definitely possible that just attacking with this was not correct and just playing around the kind of... It was like I had the very easy read they had Vigor based on Lotus Go, but if I had played land... I didn't want to play this land. I wanted to use it to kill Hollow One at one point. Like, if possible, I didn't really want to use the land if I had... I didn't want to put the land in play if I could. So my opponent, if they top deck a 1-drop black or green creature, they can play a Hogak, and then I have to draw Path, I guess. The Givers look pretty good here. Land is the best. Oh, that's going to be pretty hard to turn on, but I'm just going to get this Luris in play, and I'm going to get back Ruby, and then I'm going to get... I mean, my graveyard is not even that good, right? It's just a Spirit. Like, a Spirit is not really stopping them from playing a Hogak at this point. The only way I can really stop them from playing a Hogak is if they... Yeah, even if they activate, like, they're going to have a timing window, right? No, they're not going to have a timing window. I should always have a Ravenous Trap window if they activate and don't pitch a Root Walla. Ah, shit. I guess if they ever hit a green Root Walla, then I don't have a timing window. This is why Ravenous Trap's not very good in the matchup. You just lose a lot of your good timing windows. Because opponent's deck, like, has a lot of things that make it so this isn't turned on, or they have priority, or that kind of thing. All right, let's get this Ruby back here. I don't think we're going to be able to stop a Gaak, so we're going to probably need to draw an answer to Gaak. I mean, we have Caracas, and we have Swords, and we have... So if they don't hit Root Walla and they hit, like, Deathrite Shaman, then we're going to be fine. Okay, so they just conceded. That's fair enough. Like, we have our good cards in. We have a lot of answers. This doesn't seem unreasonable as long as we get off to, like, a reasonably fast footing, but the problem is we're on the draw now. Like, if our opponent doesn't put 3 Vengevines in play on turn 1, I feel like we have decent answers, but I don't really like being the person who's answering cards in Vintage. I think I'd rather be the person who's making the threats. Yeah, I mean, I assume we're playing Rav Trap because we don't want to play Leyline because we have Luris, which is fine. But it's a lot worse. I would just like a 7-card hand where it has the things I need. And I guess this hand technically has turn 1 Luris, but I can't imagine that we can keep it. If this hand had like 2 creatures in it, or a creature in it, it has turn 1 Luris, and it has a Wasteland, but I just don't think that's going to be good enough. What the fuck? I do, am I crazy to feel that I am running very, very cold? Look at these hands. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna just get rid of, I'm just gonna keep Lumi and all of my graveyard stuff. No, I'm just playing the Grymn list. If you have any problems with the list, you can blame Grymn or ask Grymn. If you have any questions, ask Grymn. I don't know any answers. It's not my deck. You can't blame me for the deck. I simply was a net decking warrior. Copy pasted. Yeah, I mean, but see, I've solved that, Zajad. You can't blame me for the deck because I copy pasted. You can't blame me for the gameplay because I'm sick. So like really, I have next leveled everyone, and you can't blame anything on me. My opponent played 3 lizards for 0 mana, and I am sitting here thinking, why can't I play 3 lizards for 0 mana? Look at this Rab Trap. Terrible magic card. Oh my god, we're so dead. Look how dead we are. My opponent played 5 creatures, and I have to play 1 2-drop every turn. I'm playing a Luminarch Aspirant because I don't know how I'm gonna win if I don't. Yeah, I mean, maybe I need some Aspirant, true. All right, it's a 2/2. That technically blocks these red lizards. So oh my god, they have so many lizards. Canister Zoo. You need to diversify your creatures in your zoo. You can't just only have lizards. Oh my god, I got a red source too. Yeah. Justin's very dead. I would pump both. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. I look how many lizards. Look how bad Ravenous Trap is. So bad. So if I draw a Black Lotus, then I could play a Luris. And I can't block anything because no props made this deck better and gave it red mana. Hey, look, the planes we've been waiting for since round 1. Okay, I have been vanquished in this arena of vintage. Here we go again. Round 3, vintage challenge up against Mogged. Blue-red player. Let's see what we can do. 2 Luminarch Aspirants on turn 1 versus blue-red. I accept. Or maybe we slam an Abaddon. Hard to say. Mox. Delta. I'm just going to play some Luminarch Aspirants. Someone can yell at me later. I guess this could just get negated. But I feel like I had to play a land so I didn't get dazed. I mean, do they even play daze? Maybe they don't play daze. His list doesn't. Oh yeah, it does play daze. He says he hopes that we're on Bizarre Sneak Attack. Fair enough. I don't answer any questions. Not my deck. Not my problem. I'm actually going to play Leonian Arbiter first. Maybe that's why we're playing Path. Also because we need to raise. These are just speculations, though. I guess what I can do is I can pump the... No, I think I probably still pump the Luminarch, right? Because the Arbiter is the thing that's going to get bolted. Putting extra things into the Luminarch just to have it die is probably not good. Probably would rather just spread this out. Could be wrong. All right, well, at least we've turned off. I just think if I put it on this, it's just like gonna get bolted. I don't generate value, right? But I guess if this gets bolted, am I more or less happy? I think I'm more happy, right? What is this, a Brazen Borrower? Ah, cool. So they bounced the Arbiter, so again, glad I didn't pump it. So now I have to choose, like, depending on what they do, is Wasteland better than a 2-drop? Probably not. Probably need to advance my game plan. Especially seeing as they've already fetched again. Sure. Probably just have to attack this so they don't get another card. Could kill it, technically. I'm not even sure killing it is better because it makes them closer to Murktide. Excuse me. Put Black Lotus in their hand. That's a pretty good card. Yo, what's up, McGee? I think I'm just gonna play another aspirant. I don't really know what Arbiter's doing for me at this point. I'm just gonna put both of them. There's no real way that the Narset gets, I guess like this can get bolted. I think I'm okay with like leaving a Narset at 1. It doesn't matter much to me, and I think it's better than they can't block with this Brazen Borrower, so this can only block flyers. So that's okay with me as well. I mean, these creatures are going to be huge. Like, what's a Murktide Regent to 2 Luminarch Aspirants? Strip Mine. Sure. We got Strip Mine. Our basic planes have been Strip Mined so many times today. It's crazy. Now I think with them mana being so low, I do think I'm going to Wasteland them. I definitely want to at least get one of these above bolt range. I mean, they're going to die, like, very fast. I guess I would enable a dig through time if I did that. Yeah, maybe I'm just going to advance my mana and play another threat. I guess this puts lethal on the table, too. Yeah, Luminarch is just a good card. That's just how it works. All right, we lost one of our Lumies. But we're so far ahead. They're going to play a Murktide Regent, and I'm just going to path it. Oh, they have a dig through a Treasure Cruise. Okay, sure. Eventually, I could even Ajanjo this thing. I'm going to Wasteland you. Oh, Stride Milton's probably, like, pretty good in this matchup. I don't know. I feel pretty good about Luminarch Aspirant versus Lightning Bolt deck. Oh no, my Ajanjo. Yeah, everything goes on YouTube. Thoughts on restricting Bazaar? No, it's not really necessary. Everything is balanced right now. If you want, you can go look at my latest video on YouTube. It goes over the last year of Vintage and how the metagame cycles. Basically, every deck can beat every deck in Vintage. Just depends on what you're sideboarding for. Blue-red. I don't think we're going to be boarding too much against blue-red. I mean, we probably want the extra swords to Plowshares. I don't know if we want this. I mean, they only have 6 creatures in their whole deck. Maybe it's just swords. I mean, but Katakis are so bad that it's probably fine to just board out Katakis and board in Deafening Silence, swords, and March. It's probably fine. Never not be viable? I don't know. Like, as long as you're playing one of the 3 pillars, it's going to be reasonable. Like, if you're playing a Bazaar deck, a Workshop deck, or a Tinker deck. The thing, it used to be like an Ancestral deck, but like you can build bad Ancestral decks, but it's pretty hard to build bad Tinker decks. Tinker Citadel is very strong right now. No Mox in here. Probably not keeping. Well, this is a matchup where I might not need a Moxen on turn 1, and Giver Path seems actually reasonable. Well, I'm going to try keeping this hand. Like, my opponent's playing a Legacy deck. We're playing a Modern deck. Seems like we could maybe get away with not having a Mox on turn 1. Oh, I said that, and then my opponent cast Ancestral Recall and played a Mox and a Monkey. Beautiful. 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 I don't think I'm supposed to path it. I think I'm just supposed to play Giver. Pathing puts me so far behind. Maybe I'm just losing. If I had a Mox and could play Thalia, I would be probably more happy. But yeah, I mean, maybe the turn 1 Ancestral into the 1 non-color Moxen Monkey might be too much. See what happens. Plains has been exiled. I do think the blue-red deck is a lot better when it has Ancestral Recall on its opener. That's definitely true. But yeah, I mean, Squee is by far the worst Bazaar deck, so it's kind of even weird that in that sense. So my opponent made a cool play where they brainstormed and then they got rid of the 2 cards with Thought Scour. I like that. Did they miss a land drop though? That would be pretty insane. Oh no, I'm getting my basic plane strip mine for like the 4th time today. That's incredible. I would like my basic planes to not be strip mined. How do I get that to happen? All right. Well, I can't really path this because then I'm dead to Murktide, so I got to just let this keep going and hopefully eventually play Magic. The good news is a lot of the cards they don't want to cast, like Spirit of the Labyrinth. Lotus Petal is not one of those cards that they don't want to cast. My opponent's mana base is quite extensive here. The power of Ancestral Recall at play. Getting absolutely run over. Completely nutted on. So the only way we can win this game. Opponent plays Murktide. Opponent doesn't have a counter spell. I path the Murktide, slam a Thalia, can block the Ragavan, and then we recover. Does that feel likely? No. No, it does not. Believe my opponent is going to Xerox me out of this game by just drawing a million jillion cards. Dig through time. That's a pretty good one. Dahlia. Blue. The dig in response. You don't want to make white mana then. Oh, I'm just getting hard cast dazed. Okay. I don't know if I should just concede, but I feel like I should just concede. How many times have our planes gotten strip mined this game? All right, my opponent hit a force off this. I'm just going to go to the next game. Doesn't really feel like this is worth playing out. Let's try again. How about on the play? What the hell is this? Why can't there just be a planes in this hand? I don't think this is acceptable. Okay, sure. I think we're just going to lead on Lumi. And then just try to protect our Lumi with a mental misstep and ride it to victory. Oh, my opponent had Force of Will. Man, it would have been a shame to have Cavern on Cleric. I guess we wouldn't have been able to play any follow-up spells, but what's a guy to do? Strip mine? Mox Ruby again, huh? Pretty jealous. Monkey with dash. How about no monkey with dash? Okay. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like we have the tools. I think the tools exist, but another monkey. Another Thalia. These decks are not made for me. I've decided. Man, I don't know. What's the guy to do? If I path this, whatever, pathing it. I don't feel comfortable or confident, but I wonder if we'll draw our land by turn 8 this game. It'll be interesting. So far, so bad. My opponent is actually has 7 mana, right, to cast Murktide if they want to. I don't have a path anymore. Kind of crazy. Path to Exile at work. Wasteland. Aha! Our plains is finally safe. They have 3 cards in their hand. We've missed again. No. No. She got Brazen Borrower. Got us. Oh, wow, the turntables. They have flooded out quite substantially. But probably doesn't matter because they're a blue deck and we are a basic plains deck. Ah, we did draw our land. You beat Doomsday. I am happy for everyone, including you. And everyone who doesn't have to play against Doomsday now. Yep. I didn't play around the one of days. True. True. They only have 1 card in their hand. Like they've flooded the worst they possibly could flood. And our deck still is probably not gonna be able to beat it. Oh, I hit basic planes. Based. All right, so I led with Thalia because I didn't care, but Spirit of the Labyrinth, I do care. I want to jam it. Maybe I should be waiting until they cast the Force of Will, but they have so few cards in hand. I don't even know if they have a Force of Will. This like turns off Preordain. Okay, here's the Murktide. Oh, that's not good. So now I have 3 paths and a swords. Oh no, it's addictive time. Okay, that's good. It's just a restricted card instead of a Murktide region, so it's much better for us. Unfortunately, this wasn't Treasure Cruise, or else we would have been stopped. But a lot of your deck is like hoping that Spirit stops it and Spirit doesn't actually stop it, or like hoping Arbiter stops it and Arbiter doesn't actually stop it, or anything like that. Tabernacle at the Pendrel Vale. That is an interesting choice. I'm currently not losing this race too badly. Should we play Deafening Silence first? Or should we just play the Militant? Does the Militant change the clock? Do we win if we play the Militant? We get attacked for 6. They get attacked down to... Yeah. Okay. We're currently going to 6, and then they're going to 5. Okay. We got forced. The problem is I can't ever block this, so I have to draw swords. I don't think I can fix the clock at any point here either. Because, like, I'm going to 6, so even if I play a creature next turn... I think we're going to be 1 turn too short this game. If we had drawn, like, our Ghost Quarter... If we had drawn our initial land 1 turn earlier, we might have been able to win this race. I might have missed something, too, but it's hard to say. Because we're going to go to 6, they're going to go to 5, we're going to go to 3, they're going to go to 2, and then we're going to lose. They flooded out so badly, too. It's crazy how badly they flooded out. All right, we need to draw Path to Exile. I drew over Leonian Arbiter. All right, well, we have 1 more draw. I guess I could also just have Lightning Bolt and I die, right? That's also a possibility. It kind of feels like a lot of the games we've lost, we would have won if we like kept a mulligan that had 1 more card, or had 1 more land, or had 1 more creature. But we don't have any agency over that kind of thing. We just have to take what we're given, right? I don't know if it's a deck problem or just a low variance problem. I mean, I also probably haven't played super great. Can't imagine. We've played amazing. Okay. All right, so we're on top deck path and hope that our opponent doesn't have a force. No, I drew my planes finally. I have been destroyed. Yeah, Tabernacle not the strongest card in this matchup, I would assume. Especially with all the wastelands we have. We dead. Nice. We have been vanquished again. Well, I don't know what to say. Like, these games we're in most of these games. None of these games have been super blowouts, except for like maybe the game 1 against Gaak, but I feel like that would have been a blowout for like a lot of for like every deck that can't combo kill. Like, I can see how all of these cards would win, but we just never have enough of them, or the right order of them, or the right ones. It hurts. Okay, here we go. Round 4, Vintage Challenge. Try again. See what ADM has for us today. ADM is a brewer by trade here. I don't have a 2 mana again. I have a Lotus this time, though. Great success. I'm keeping. We're doing it. I think I'm going to put back Emerald and just go Lotus, Caracas, Luminarch, Spirit with a follow-up Relic Order. My opponent likes to play artifact stuff. Kind of makes sense to me. I think the Emerald should be superfluous with our 2 lands here, plus Lotus. Could be wrong. I don't know why I played that second land. It's probably dumb. Which one do I want to put a counter on? Probably just Luminarch. I'm not sure where it would matter. Not really sure where it would matter. Maybe against a Ren and 6, and I would probably want to have it on Lumi. I would think. A little hard to say. Both being X1s means it's not crazy, but I feel like they'd want to kill the spirit more, so it's maybe better to put the counters on the one that's not the spirit. All right, so it is a Mishra's Workshop deck. That does vibe. But we have a really nice turn 2 follow-up as long as it's not like a sphere. But if it's a sphere, we have a pretty nice board already. Uh-oh. Painter Grindstone? Oh, Painter Sphere. Okay. I mean, we could die then, next turn. Never mind. Great success. That was a Grymn top deck if I've ever seen one. Wonder if they have a basic in their deck. No basic in their deck. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Lumi again, just because if they play another Painter Servant, I want to be able to attack through with both on the next turn. And a 4/2 and a 3/3 would do that. Or a 2/2 and a 4/2 would not do that. Or a 2/2 and a 5/3 would not do that. I guess it doesn't matter too much because I would be able to put another counter on next turn. But like my opponent, I feel like my opponent set up so that they could like next turn maybe go, play a Grindstone off of this, play a mana and activate it and kill me. Right over, yeah, sure. If I hit a land, I can play Relic Order, hit their only blocker, and get in one more time. The ideal. It's weird that Painter Grindstone decks don't do like okay in Vintage. I feel like they have the tools they need to be good. Obviously, they face a lot of issues in just splash hate. Stoneforge Mystic. Like they face a lot of issues just on the back of like existing as artifacts. But I feel like there should be. That's such a good draw. There should be some deck that could make it work. You see the Painter decks in Legacy do very well. Not very well, but like well enough. All right, what do you got? 3, 7. Nope. All right, let's try again. This is a time where Kataki is nice, where Stony Silence is nice, where Otherworldly Light is nice. Deafening Silence and Mindbreak Trap are probably reasonable as well. I will keep in Mental Misstep because they're a Painter deck. I don't know exactly how good that is, or these are. I don't think Spirits are very good. That kind of gives me a lot to play with, huh? Arbiter is probably not fantastic either. I mean, they're probably a Saga deck, so it's maybe better, maybe okay. No, I feel like there's a lot of cards that we don't want. Maybe we just bring in like another swords. Probably fine. I don't know. Let's see. They feel like there are a lot of weak cards because the matchup is so different than the normal blue decks. Uh, try this. See what happens. We've got no white sources, also known as no bueno. Try again. Okay. I mean, this is not, I don't know. This is not great because we don't have our best cards in the matchup, like Stony Silence or Kataki or those kind of things. But we do have a Luminarch Aspirant, one piece of interaction, and then 2 strip mines, or one piece of creature interaction and 2 strip mines, which is actually probably enough. We can even play turn 1 Lumi plus strip mine if we wanted to, which actually seems like it's probably going to be good. Well, I guess maybe, no, I'm going to probably get rid of the pedal, but we do have those kind of options. I think this is not a great hand, and surely we'll lose to some strong plays, but what is this? Wormcoil Engine. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I ain't your normal white deck. Wait, no, I am your normal white deck. Never mind. Sorry, Path to Exile, I guess. I get a little punished there if my opponent has a basic, so I should probably do that on their upkeep. I didn't really consider it, but I should have. My opponent could easily be playing like a basic to help. Okay. They can Needle Wasteland. I have 3 different kind of wastelands in my hand. Got them. I don't even know if Needling Wasteland is... Well, now it looks pretty good. I want to get my Luminarch going, but I can't actually cast it this turn, right? So let's just play a Jet, and we will Ghost Quarter their Workshop. Nice Needle on Wasteland, and we'll strip mine their other card, and then... well, next turn we'll play our Luminarch Aspirant, but then we can maybe strip mine them after. Maybe we want to hold the strip mine for a Saga. That could be quite possible as well. Probably correct. I think like the Workshop is good enough where we want to Wasteland it, but the Saga maybe not. All right, so this will become bigger than that in a couple turns, and then we'll be golden. I think I'll hold this strip mine for a Saga. Wow, okay, let's just get in then. I think they should probably have offered trading there. No, I wasn't going to take it, but... Who's the beatdown now? Luminarch Aspirant is a hell of a magic card. If there is one thing you should know about the mono white deck is Luminarch Aspirant is always better than you think it is. This card is just so surprisingly good in Vintage. It always makes me very I just never know how that actually works out. One, two. Okay, so I need to have one more. And if they want to trade here, I just blow them out. All right, if they're not going to trade, then let's just play an Arbiter. I can't double waste because of Needle, so no, I don't think it's worth wasting at any point here just because they have so low life total anyways. Yeah, what's up, Serial? Wow, I feel like I have drawn the right cards in this matchup, that's for sure. I feel like the cards I drew for this matchup were much better than the cards I drew in all my other matchups. GG's. Okay, we have vanquished the workshop player. Great success. All right, we're still mounting our comeback. Now on to round 5. Probably against Tinker. We'll have to see. I have established another hand where I cannot cast Magic the Gathering cards. One day I will keep a beautiful 7 and everything will be right in the world. But it is not this day. This hand's probably fine, right? We play a turn 1 Arbiter. We have Wastelands and another play. And maybe we can even go get a Luris because we have the Jet on color. Seems like a thing we could do. And if my opponent is on Tinker, then Arbiter quite good against their deck. They do a lot of searching. Also, Wasteland can be pretty good, especially against a Saga deck. Let's see what happens. Dun, 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 dun. What do we got? What do you got for me? Yeah, Arbiter definitely gets the benefit of most decks in Vintage are annoyed by it. Ooh, fetch land. Oh, Mana Crypt. Well, that is definitely a way to beat Arbiter. Just simply pay for it. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we can get... So I think I don't care about this giver, and what I'm gonna do is get a Luris and play a Ghost Quarter? Well, my opponent can do this at any time, and I don't believe it uses the stack, right? I don't remember. Modern Death Tactics things. What I might do is I get a Ghost Quarter, because this way, if they fetch a basic... Like, if I play a Wasteland, they fetch a basic, and it's bad. But if I play a Ghost Quarter, they're not really going to fetch a basic, and then they have to always leave open 2 mana. So I think I just play a Ghost Quarter and pass. Like, obviously, doesn't exactly do anything. Yeah, see, this just gets paid. So there was no effect. So, like, if I play a Wasteland here, they fetch a basic, and then I can't do anything. But now, I could do it on their turn, but then they'll just pay. Wow, they just have Ancestral? This is not good for me. But it also means that they can't really use their mana efficiently. I don't know. Like, I could just make them use their 2 mana right now. That might be good. But then they get a land that I can't wasteland. And then they can also fetch this turn. So it doesn't really feel like that's good. Overall, this just doesn't... It feels like Mana Crypt has countered my my Arbiter here. Though, if we just wait till next turn, I can wasteland this, and it's not even a big deal. Like, we baited them. I guess you could say we baited them into not searching a basic, in which case we can wasteland. Another non-fetch land. Ah, shit. Yeah, sure. You can turn off my ghost quarter. Don't think I care. Hmm. Jeez. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that is probably the single best card they can have. All right. They still are at 14 with a mana crypt. They're not gonna make this trade, so like there's still some winning chances, but maybe I'm supposed to play this giver so I can give something unblockable. I didn't really consider that. Lost a flip down to 9. They still can't fetch, really, so... And they can't demonic super well, either. Maybe it's still fine. I don't know. They just have to play Zamoxin, though. And we're gonna maybe be dead. Top. Yeah, top is super good here. It's definitely the case. Wow. Yeah. Those are good. We don't have... Hmm. Right, well, they're out of lands. They still have an active mana crypt. I think I attack with Arbiter and just replay it. Well, no, I should get my unblockable thing going. They kind of have to have force or misstep for this, because I'm going to start attacking for 3. Maybe I should have played this earlier in the game. We were like a little caught up on white mana, right? We had just a Caracas. I got rid of the pedal. We didn't have this plane still this turn. Even if they counter this, we can definitely replay it. It's just, are we going to live long enough for that? Is the question. Don't know. Oh, so it did get forced pitching Tinker. So we've actually prevented ourselves from dying because we have this Arbiter to stop Tinker the whole time, which is nice. And I would be able to replay this if I hadn't Strip Mined. So I have to wait to replay it till next turn. But they're on 3 mana crypt flips. They should probably draw with this top and then replay their top. Oh, they want to flip. And they found an island. No, I think they should have used this top to like they don't have infinite time here. Relic Warder. Huh. Should I just take this key? I don't think giving myself Ghost Quarter is super good. But I guess it could be. It's probably all worse than playing another Giver and just threatening an unblockable Luris. Mana Crypt is the way I'm winning this game. So I'm definitely not taking Mana Crypt. I'm hoping a combination of mana crypt, one attack is going to get us there. All right, so they've decided to finally use their top, which is scary. I need this to flip for us. It did not flip for us. That's probably going to be a game. We kind of needed it to flip for us twice, and they've won the last two. Swords. Yeah, this looks very bad. This is kind of what I thought they were going to do last turn. They gave us some extra flips, but it's probably not enough. No, now I don't have unblockable, and they found their one exile spell, so I can't even bring it back. Also quite problematic. I'm also about to take 20, almost. I'm going to chump and replay, maybe. I don't know. I think chumping makes sense, though. It doesn't look like we have outs anymore. Second Caracas, huh? Well, technically lets me play my things, so... I just have another force. Okay. I think that just leaves us actually dead. Yeah. All right. Well, I think there were outs to winning this game, but didn't get there. Let's bring in Mindbreak Trap. Let's bring in Stony Silence. Let's bring in Kataki March. Deafening Silence, maybe. And then, wait, how do I board these kind of cards in? Just board out Path and Givers seems quite poor. Maybe Dryad's not even that good either. I don't think I need more paths, but maybe I need more paths for Saga stuff. I guess my opponent did have opening hand with Ancestral and Mana Crypt. So that is a little challenging. I wonder what other lines I could have even taken. I'm sure there's something. Didn't really see much though. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Wasteland, make them fetch a basic. And then double wait. I don't know. The whole problem in that game is they had Mentor, right? They had Tinker, like they had their other good cards, but they were stopped by Arbiter. But Mentor was free reign. Yeah, this hand does not good enough. Is this hand good enough? It's probably close. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. We're doing okay. It doesn't have the good cards, though. Like, can I really be keeping this kind of hand? It doesn't really feel like it's Great. Like, I can play turn 1 Arbiter, and then on turn 3, I can go Luris, but it doesn't seem good. Like, I have Stonies and Katakis and Spirits, and none of that is this. I don't know. I just don't feel like the hand, like, I want a hand that has, 2 planes, a Mox, and 3 or 4 of the cards that are good in the matchup. But I don't feel like I've had any of those kind of hands. It just doesn't, I never have, like, the combination of cards that I need. I give up. I'm off it. I don't know. Like, if I have a hand that's Thalia, Deafening Silence, Sony Silence, Planes, Mox, like, that feels like a very good hand to me. But instead, I'm like 6 creatures, 1 planes, 7 mana sources, no creatures. Get my only 1 drop in my deck, Mental Misstep. I don't have 1 drops, right? Like, ay, ay, ay. Oh, yeah. No, I took them out. Like, I I I don't think they're supposed to have Mental Misstep in their deck, but it really just doesn't matter, does it? Okay. All right. Well, this is enough of this. I don't think this is very fun. I am not Grymn, so I could not make this work. I felt like some of our matches were close, but really, you have technically, I do think you technically have the cards you need to win the matches of Vintage. However, you need to draw them in the right combinations and the right orders against the right opponents, or else your deck does nothing. And a lot of the time today, our deck did nothing. And I think we mulligan today this is probably a deck where you're supposed to mulligan a lot, because you need to find, that combination of enough lands, enough Moxen, enough of the right creatures, which is not simple to always have in your opener. But I feel like maybe we mulligan too much. It's possible. I'm not really sure. It just felt like it didn't feel like we were super underpowered, except for maybe that last match. Like, we had the cards to beat our opponents, but we just didn't have them in play, right? I don't know. That's how I feel. Like, it's I think it's still a budget option people can choose to get into the format, and there are definitely times where you can win with this deck. I definitely can see you 5-0ing leagues with this deck. It has a lot of cards against the decks you typically see in leagues. I do still believe that this deck has got to have some way to be constructed differently with some of the more powerful cards, but I don't feel like the cards being not powerful enough was the reason we were losing. I think it was just the power, like the compositions of our hands was more important. I mean, there's obviously definitely, I probably could have sequenced and chosen better in different points. That's not, I'm not gonna say that's not true, but I don't know. Something felt off today. Maybe it was just me. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this experiment, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully fully rested and not sick.